my fellow humans. We are all here sharing this human experience together. If you're a returning viewer, thanks so much for coming back. If you're new here, thanks for joining us. I do things differently here on this channel, so there may be triggering statements that do arise on the readings themselves. There's no obligation to force it to fit, while keeping in mind that triggers can be a beautiful blueprint for our healing journey. If the message resonates, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find everything you need in the description box below. Your time, your energy, and your presence are a true gift and a blessing, and I'm deeply honored to be here sharing it with you today. So we are asking, what's the gossip about you right now? So we're going to take a deeper look into this. We're going to be using the Talisman Oracle by Nora Paskaleva. I think that's how you say that. So I love this deck. It's a really great deck to use for these types of readings. And yeah, let's hop to your prayer really quick and we'll get your reading underway. I do feel like this, the gossip is coming from people who are close to home. It's interesting because I was also getting a message of who is gossiping about you. So that might come out in the reading itself. It might not, but I was getting this feeling like it's people who are close to home. So I will definitely see if I can get a better confirmation of that during the readings themselves. But there's also a need for compassion and forgiveness from you, not necessarily of this person, but of yourself, and maybe the kind of connection that you had with this person. So maybe if you stayed really overstayed your welcome with them, or if there was just a lot of weird energy between you and them, that's something that's coming through here. Just holding compassion for yourself. Okay, my beloved source, this prayer is for any and all who come onto this reading, whether it's for the entire time or for a moment's time. Today I ask that you help give us clarity on what it is that we're letting go of and what we're surrendering. And sometimes it's hard. Obviously, we come onto these readings to confirm our intuition, for entertainment, to understand a little bit more about the people we're connecting with on our journey. But sometimes it is hard because we feel like we're at the whims of how they see us, that we are at their mercy on what it is that they're saying about us. If people are lying about us, if people are telling the truth about us, if people actually care about us the way that they say that they do. And sometimes that can really deter us from moving forward on our path. And it can actually become something that we lean on that deciphers or determines our outcome as well. So today I ask that you give us the strength to let go of holding on to that and holding on to the belief that what people see within us is the truth of who we are. We're so much more profound, and we are so much more multifaceted than they give us credit for. While they may only be discussing a moment's time within our lives, there's so much more to us than meets the eye. And it helps us to be able to open up to that truth within ourselves. So today I ask that you help give us a yellow clearing light that helps us connect with our internal fire and shows us that road to self-realization and self-acceptance, and seeing the wholeness of our being in this here now here moment. As these words are spoken upon this tribe and onto this reading today, so shall they be. Amen. Aho ase. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my beloved source. Thank you. I'm actually really excited because I got called to pulling out my feathers today. It's been a while since I've tapped into my feathers, but I have a whole bunch. I collect them. I tried to collect them wherever I go. But yeah, so I got these two. This is a duck feather, and I'm not sure if this is a duck feather too, or if this is a dove feather. But the fact that it's an all white feather, it was a really cool find. But I got both of these in Mesa, Arizona. And I did find this feather, which I'm not sure what kind of bird this belongs to, but there are these little birds that walk in the water, and I don't know what they're called, but they run along the water, and when the tide comes in, they run away, and then they run back and they walk in the water, and then when the tide comes in, they run away. They're super cute. But I got this in Rockport, Texas. Okay, so what's the gossip about you right now? Source, what Talisman Oracle card is going to help us better understand this message today? What's the gossip about you right now? Ooh, okay. Okay. I'll tell them that in the collective message. Thank you, Source. All right, what's the gossip about you right now? Thank you. Okay, if you guys are interested, stick around for the collective. Pile 1, what's the gossip about you right now? What oracle card is going to help us better understand this message today for pile 1? Thank you, source. Pile number 2, what is the gossip about you right now? What talisman oracle card is going to help us better understand this message today? Thank you. All right, pile number 3, what is the gossip about you right now? What talisman oracle card is going to help us better understand this today? Thank you, source. All right, collective energy. We've got the concealment on the bottom. This is interesting because I was getting a channel message as I was shuffling. It came in really strong. And that was that you are aging backwards. And that's the gossip. Like every time people see you, you look younger, you act younger, you appear younger, and they don't get it. Like, what's your secret, right? With the concealment energy here, like, what are you hiding from everybody? Did you find the fountain of youth? And if you did, why aren't you sharing it? Honestly, I feel like so many of you are healing from your childhood trauma, and the more weight that you drop from your childhood trauma, the younger you appear. Because our aging is directly connected to the stress, the weight, the burdens, the trauma we hold in our body. And so the more that you let go and the more that you release of that, then the younger that you appear and the more vibrant you appear and the more connected you appear. And so I feel like you don't really have a secret, but people are gossiping about how you are secret, you are hiding secrets to eternal youth, that you are hiding secrets about your journey, that you aren't telling everybody the truth. Maybe you got some work done, like plastic surgery or something like that. Like there's a lot that people are talking about in regards to that. Yeah, so they're talking about how you're keeping secrets from them, and you've also been through some sort of rebirth. Like you have changed so much. And so the gossip around about you right now is talking about how, you know, people who knew you back when, or people who even knew you just a couple of months ago, like you're vastly different. You're constantly changing. You're overcoming, and you look like you've gained years in your life. You've gained vitality. You look younger. Some people may feel like you've done your makeup differently and that's why you look younger. But I feel like, you know, for people who don't wear makeup and for people who, you know, like men and stuff, like if you don't wear makeup or you don't do anything with your face too much, like you just look years younger. And so they're gossiping about how you have somehow found some sort of something to do with your face, something to put on your face, or that you got some sort of Botox or work done, but you don't look like you've got work done. And so they're like, oh my gosh, what did they figure out along the way that was going to make them look 10, 20, 30 years younger? And so you definitely feel like, honestly though, many of you do not look your age. Like, I feel like people are always surprised when you tell them your age. Like, they're like, no, there's no way you're that old. Or like, I would have never guessed that you were that old. I feel like that's something you've definitely experienced a lot in your life. And if you haven't, like that's something that you're starting to experience now. And it's a different type of energy. You're just like, whoa, okay, this is weird. But that's definitely something that people are gossiping about. Also, people are gossiping about because you're not talking about the things that you're succeeding at. You're not sharing your life with people. You're not putting your life on blast like most people do. You're just not putting yourself out there. And so when people are trying to look up things about you, so maybe on social media, instead of posting pictures of where you're going in your life, like you're saving those pictures for yourself and for close friends and family, and you're not putting them online, you're maybe just posting positivity online or just sharing like little tidbits online about things that you're interested in or what you're passionate about. Like it really feels like this is more it's concealed. Your online presence is concealed to things that you're passionate about, things that you want to discuss, not what you're doing with your life or what's going on in your life. And that's got some people kind of like tripping out. Like they're not sure how to take that. They're not sure like what that means. Like what does it mean that they're not sharing their life or that they're not sharing what they're experiencing right now? What does that mean and how should I take that? And it scares them because they feel like maybe you did the thing that they said that they told everybody that you weren't going to do. Right? So maybe you got the position, you started a successful business, you got the raise, you moved, you're traveling, You're experiencing something that you've always wanted to do. You wrote the book, you got the okay for the song, you became a part of a band, you got the commission, you got whatever it is, right? You finished your degree. Like, there's something here that you did that they said that they thought in their heart of hearts, they told everybody, they gossiped about you. Oh, you're not going to do it. And now you're keeping everything under wraps. And because you're keeping everything under wraps, they're just talking about that. Like, well, why won't they share it? Why won't they tell us what they've succeeded at? It's absolutely frustrating. Like, they look younger. They look like they feel good about life. They look like they're living life, but they're not telling us anything about their life. And it's a really, really frustrating for us because we want to know all the nitty gritty details. Well, it's not for them to know, right? So you've gone through a rebirth. They know you've gone through a rebirth. They know that you've absolutely turned your life around 180, 360, however you want to look at it. And you are no longer that person that you once were. Concealment. Where are you at here? Confidence, concealment. Okay, so this is the talisman. If you guys would like to take a screenshot of that and have it on your phone, you can. Okay, it says you've taught yourself how to be strong, how to be a go-getter, and how to protect yourself. You've conquered obstacles because you know where you stand, and hiding behind a mask can feel safe. When you conceal your true identity and don't let people fully know you, they can't hurt you. The glamorously painted faces look very appealing and provide a sense of shelter. However, if you keep avoiding connection on a deeper level, it can leave you feeling vulnerable and alone. Commit to making choices that are better for your unique essence and purpose. So it says, I am true to myself. And I feel like that's just it. Like, to everyone else, you look like you're wearing some sort of mask, but you're not. You're finally revealing yourself, and you're only revealing yourself to the people who matter. And that's why this is so powerful. What a cool message. Okay, cool. So pick up it and cut ties is coming out. Yeah, so these are people that you've cut ties with. Oh, that's what I was saying. Like, at the beginning, I was getting this, like, these are people you know. These are people, there we go. And so Source is bringing that back around. These are people that you've had to let go of, that you've cut ties with, that you no longer are connected with in that way. And it's been a very challenging situation for you. Like, these are people who maybe knew everything about you, or that you shared everything with, or like, these are people who you were always a very big open book with. Like, if they asked you a question, you would share your entire detail in life with them, right? Because you felt obligated to, or because that's just who you were in your past, right? But now you're not in that energy any longer. So it's like, if people ask a question, you're realizing it's not about the question, or it's not about the answer, it's about the question. And so if they're asking like, hey, what's new in your life? You may just come back with something that's very succinct and saying, not much, you know, I'm just doing my best. Or you're making it seem very lackadaisical or blasé are the words that are coming through. So yeah, you're just not putting too much effort into it. You're just really not putting too much effort into the answer. Like, maybe once before or in your past where people are like, hey, what's going on in your life? You're like, oh, well, I've got this going on. I've got this going on. I'm doing this. This happened to me. That went down. This is new in my life. So on. And you wrote like a huge novel to them. And now you're not. Like, you're keeping it very short, sweet, to the point. It's not about the answer, it's about the question. And so if they're not going to ask deeper questions, then why bother with a deeper answer? And that's what this feels like with the cut ties energy. So yeah, some of these people that are going to come up, what they're gossiping about you, they're going to be people that are very close to you. It's not going to be really just strangers gossiping about you. It's going to be people who are close to home. And so I just want to forewarn you as we get into this reading today before that happens. So, which normally gossip is close to home, but there are people who we don't know that gossip about us too. They have a predetermined idea of who we are. And so, you know, like, I think we've all done that in our life at least once, where we've talked bad about people we don't know, or we've prejudged them, and we've let that kind of be how we see people. I know I've done that before, and I've had to deal with that and take accountability for when I did that in my life. And, you know, judging people I didn't know just because I got a weird vibe from them, and I didn't know what that meant back then before my spiritual journey, or when I was young and dumb and silly and all those things, right? So also taking accountability for yourself, I feel like, is what Source is saying with that. Okay, cool. We're in frame. All right. Pile 1. We've got this dice with the 12th house for you to choose from. Or we have this feather. Pile 2, we have this dice with the 4th house for you to choose from. Or we have this feather. And pile number 3, we have this dice with the 6th house for you to choose from. Or we have this feather. So pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Excuse me. Whichever pile you feel called to, that should be the one for you, and I will see you over there. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with the 12th house on it, or perhaps you felt called to this feather, or maybe you felt called to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be your reading on what is the gossip about you right now. We're all here sharing this human experience together. And I do things differently here on this channel, so there might be triggering statements that do arise on the readings themselves. There is no obligation to force it to fit, while keeping in mind that triggers can be a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journey. Excuse me. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you're new here, thanks so much for joining us. If the message does happen to resonate with you, it would mean the world to me if you're to like, comment, and subscribe below. And please know that your time, your energy, and your presence today are a true gift and a blessing, and I'm deeply honored to be here sharing it with you. So with that, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out what's the gossip about you right now, pile 1. What's the gossip about you right now, pile 1? Source, what would you like to share with us today? Pile 1, what's the gossip about you? Okay, yeah, so we've got the 4th house, we've got Gemini, and we've got Saturn energy. So with Gemini coming out, we do see that confirmation there is gossip going on here. There's gossip about how truly disciplined you are. So there are some people here that are thinking that you're not as disciplined as maybe you once were, or you're not as consistent as you once were. I feel like people forget that our journey, it ebbs and flows just like the seasons ebb and flow around us. Like sometimes we're in a very productive season of our lives, and sometimes we're in a very restful season of our lives, and you may be in a more restful season right now, or you may be in a season where you have consolidated your work and you're making more progress with less work, right? So that could be a season that you're in right now, but they're gossiping about how you're not as consistent, determined, decisive, or disciplined that you once were, that you've become complacent, and that this is something that has maybe influenced a codependent relationship in your life, or has opened up. There's two things here. Has opened up. For maybe you started doing some sort of outlet like baking or cooking, especially the fourth house, something along those lines, or maybe cleaning your house more, taking care of your space in a much better way than you once were. And so people are just assuming that you don't have as much work, that you don't have as much burdens that you once had. And so that's what they're gossiping about. They feel like you should still be working as hard as you once were. But as we grow and we begin to glow up, things are not necessarily as chaotic as they once were when we first started the journey, when we were in that period of the only way to look like we're being successful is to fill every space with work. And now you could be enjoying things more, like reading. You could be going outside in nature more, spending time in a lake. Maybe fishing is coming through here, or going and walking at the creek or the pond. There's something about being around bodies of water or just out in nature more frequently than you once were. And so there's this idea that people are thinking that you're not working as hard as you once were. But I also feel like with Saturn coming through here, Source is also pointing out that maybe you aren't putting in as much productive work as you once were, but what you're doing right now is being recognized, and it is being rewarded, and you're recognizing that, and that's the only thing that matters here. So interesting energy to start with. I never know what these are going to bring. So let me turn that. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Okay, so I keep getting told to use my little tarot deck. I have my other Tarot Marseille out today, so we're going to use it. We'll get a couple more cards than I normally do to kind of give us an idea of this. So, what's the gossip about you right now, pile one? Okay, what's the gossip about you right now, pile one? Trying not to blow away the feather there. It just kind of totally went out of screen. Here, I got an idea. There, that should be good. Right there. Alright. What's the gossip about you, pile one? Okay, thank you. What's the gossip about you, pile one? What's the gossip about you right now, pile one? Whoa. Okay, it's going to come out in the reverse. It did come out in the horizontal, so we'll talk about it. Yep, this is interesting. What's the gossip about you, pile one? Yep, this is interesting. One more. What's the gossip about you, pile one? This is coming from also people who don't know. Like, obviously, gossip is gossip. Like, no one ever checks the source. They just start passing on what they think they know. And most of the time, people don't know. They just don't know. But here's the thing, like, there is gossip about you being promiscuous, like going out, and maybe you started dating recently, or you were trying to start dating, and people are just assuming the worst. They're just saying like, oh, so after all this time of being single, so now pile one is going to go out and start sleeping around with people. Like, that's why they're late. That's why they're doing this. Like, they won't tell us the truth, this, that, and the other. And maybe you went on a date and you had somebody that you were just really enjoying spending time with, and you just ended up spending the whole day with them and went far longer than you expected. And they took that to mean that you were doing, you know, doing the dirty or bumping uglies, bumping peepees, however you want to call it. And they're saying like, oh, you're just sleeping around right now and you're not being honest. Now, for those of you that are in a relationship, there is gossip about you being unfaithful to your partner because maybe you are networking more. Especially with the Saturn energy, I feel like many of you are networking more. You're talking to more people, and naturally that is just talking with everybody. It doesn't have to be people of the same sex or the opposite sex, right? It's just everybody in general. It's just being able to connect with people. And find ways to get that support system around you. And so I do feel like you are in that process of connecting with people, and they're mistaking it and they're misconstruing it as you sleeping around and being unfaithful to your partner, and that you obviously aren't getting what you need. Like, that's why you're going out and you're being unfaithful. You're being immature right now. You're trying to manifest a sexual partner into your life, or you're trying to manifest sexual experiences. Maybe some of you have been on the journey of celibacy, or, taking a break from physical connection. And they're saying, oh, like, obviously pile one can't handle it anymore. It's been too long. So they need something to placate them. And so they're feeling like you don't have enough. You're not getting enough of something. And so you're having to put yourself out there and get it from somewhere else. And you're doing it in a very immature and blatant way. Well, I feel like pile one, you're just somebody who can have a conversation with anybody. Especially with Gemini energy here, you just feel like you're capable of communicating with people. You could have Gemini highly aspect in your chart. You could have Mercury in Gemini. You could have Mercury in the third house placements. You could have Virgo in third house, or your Mercury in Virgo as well. Or you could have your rising sign in Gemini with your Venus in Virgo is coming in. But I feel like that's the thing. Like, you just can hold a conversation with anybody. It's not... like, you just know how to talk to people, you know how to network, you know how to communicate, you know how to be curious about other people. You could also have Libra in the 10th house, or the 9th house is coming in. Okay. So that's the thing. And so they're just misconstruing it. They're like, oh, there they go, being promiscuous. There they go, being bubbly and flirting with everybody. There they go, trying to get laid by everybody. So weird energy. Yep. Okay. The Fool in the reverse. The Emperor in the reverse. Wow, we already got so many mystery cards coming out. Yep, okay, yeah. So really, that's what they're focusing on. That you're lying and manipulating everybody. That you're trying to fool everybody. That you're this innocent person. That you don't sleep around, or that you are faithful, or that you're honest, and that you're a good person, and this, that, and the other. So they're gossiping about that. They're saying how you're fooling everybody. You're not as disciplined as you once were. You're not putting in the work. You're being brutal and unkind to the people who are in your life, who are trying to support you. And that right now you're romantically frustrated, and that you are struggling to get connections in your life. And so you're looking to find someone else to put this energy on. Oh my gosh, I don't like this, but I'm going to talk about it because it's coming in and it's kind of making me sick to my stomach, pile one. So I just want to forewarn you. Let me take a drink. Oh, let me take a drink. When people are like this, I just don't understand sometimes. I don't understand why people are like this. I know people are like this, but I'm sure you can relate. Like, it's not any way that you would show up yourself. So it's just hard to see it from somebody else's viewpoint, like why they would come from this type of energy. But okay, this is making me sick to my stomach because I feel like they're using a bad situation that you went through in your past. Like, you had a relationship with a narcissist and you left to heal yourself. And I feel like you mentioned maybe to these people that you were with a narcissist, and that's why you've chosen the journey that you've chosen. You've chosen to grow from that. And whoever's gossiping about you is trying to say that you're the narcissist. You're the problem. You're the one who treated this other person in your life that was so good really bad. You're the one that cheated on them. You're the one that brought them down. You're trying to fool everybody because you want people to see you from a good light. This is why this is making me sick to my stomach, because I feel like whoever you were with really did a number on you emotionally. Okay, just a second. It's like, I feel this. It's in my throat. I feel it in my throat. And I feel it in my solar plexus chakra. It's just, I feel like right now you might have a clenching stomach too. Like, you just like, oh my gosh, because you might know who this is too. You might know who's saying this. And it's like, this is somebody that's supposed to be supporting you or loving you or, like just being in your corner, and they're not. Like, they're going out and they're saying these things to people. It's like every time you mention something that you're doing with your life, like they're using that as fuel to say that you're the bad person, you're the villain. It could be your ex. Like, if this is an ex, it could be, I feel like this is someone that's close to you right now. I feel like this is, especially the fourth house, this is someone at home or close to home, someone that's a friend, a family member, a child, a parent, a sibling. Yeah, maybe a neighbor. It could be a neighbor. Oh, I don't like this at all. I don't like this energy at all. Yeah, family. Family right here with the Judgment card coming out. Parent energy to be precise. Parent-child energy to be precise with the Judgment card coming out. Yeah, okay, this is really, look at that. And then we've got somebody who's very brutal. Somebody who wants to have control over you and who has a problem with authority, and you're standing in an authoritative figure, as an authoritative figure right now, and you're very comfortable in your skin, you're very comfortable in who you are. And I don't feel like you lie about where you're going or what's going on in your life. Like, you're very honest about this. And every time you share even tiny bits of yourself, they use that as fuel to create a really, really bad situation or bad painting about where you're at in your life. Like, they're telling everybody that you're sleeping around. They're telling everybody that you're talking to tons of people all at once, that you're the problem. Like, this is why you can't keep a relationship, because you don't know how to be faithful. You don't know how to just stick with one person. You're constantly creating dissonance in all of your relationships. You're so mean to them. They're saying that you treat them like dirt, even though they're trying to help you. That you are very dominant, even though they're trying to, offer you an opportunity here. That you're very belligerent and you're trying to deny having had any bad relations with people, like, or having had played a part with any connections that were bad in your life. This could be a mother-in-law specifically, or a daughter-in-law. This could be that type of dynamic that's coming through here. And there's a lot of confusion between you and this person. Like, you do not vibe like that, or these people, you don't vibe at all. This could be multiple people, right? We have tons of people here in this reading. So this could be a lot of people. This could be family. This could be like, father, brother, and uncle. This could be a mother and a sister or daughter, a son. This could be your husband, your wife. Like, that's the type. This is like a whole family dynamic here that's unfolding. Like, they all get together, they talk about you, and they're like, hey, you know what? This is what pile one's going through. This is what they're doing. And it's like nobody here is really on your side. I feel like you're doing a really good job with the 2 of coins here on the bottom of the deck. I feel like you're doing a really good job of navigating this situation. Like, that none of these people are on your side. That they're not looking out for your well-being. That they blow things really out of proportion, and that they're unkind to you. They've always been unkind to you. And it's a very unfair situation here. Yeah, and especially with the Fool in the reverse at the beginning here, we're seeing this lack of being accepted by the social environment. So already you're not accepted socially by the people who are in your family and your life. You're not accepted by them. And so naturally that makes you a topic of conversation, but it's not necessarily even conversation. This is a topic of gossip. Right? Yeah, they think that you have completely missed opportunities, and that's what they're saying. Like, oh, the pile 1, they missed all their good opportunities, and what are they doing? They're just wasting their life away. Like, they could have had something great if they kept working as hard as they once were. But I feel like working how you once were was leading to multiple times of burnout, and so you had to reevaluate the way you were approaching your job, or the way you were approaching your business, or the way you were approaching life. Like, you had to reevaluate that to something that was a lot more calm and peaceful and manageable, right? We think hitting the ground running and sprinting as fast as we can in this race is the only way to have success. Like, so many people have held on to that belief for so long. It's just not manageable. It's not even doable, because after a while your body gives out, your mind gives out, your emotional well-being gives out. Like, you can't maintain that. It's just not manageable at all. And so, yeah, there's like, they think that you're very self-centered, and that's what they're telling people. Like, you have a problem actually defining what your long-term goals are, that you have also a problem in submitting to temptation. So they're saying that sex is a temptation for you here, and you're constantly getting involved with people who you don't need to be involved with. Like, you're opening yourself up. Like, maybe you've told people, like, I'm celibate, or I've chosen chastity or whatever, because I want to heal, and they're telling everybody, oh, that's just a blatant lie. They've never chosen chastity at all. They've just been sleeping around and doing whatever the hell they want. And that's what they're saying. Wow, that came out so fast. I don't usually curse, and that just came out really fast. So my apologies, but it must have needed to come out. Oh my gosh, we've got the third house flipping over here. Early learning, childhood relations, the rational mind, and communication. So siblings energies coming through here. It doesn't have to be, but it could be, again, friends, neighbors, coworkers, people that are mirroring what you had to accept as a child, right? Like when you were in a dependent situation, and they're mirroring that energy right now. Bottom of the deck, 12th house, spirituality, transcendence, karma, sacrificial service, and healing. So you are healing from this situation. I do feel like this is coming to a close. And this is also another reason why you're not accepted socially within your family, is because of your spiritual journey. Like, nobody understands it. And because nobody understands it, instead of choosing to understand you or try to understand you, right, to see where you're coming from, they just rather use you as a means of entertainment through gossip. Like, oh, look at the way people react when I tell them this about pile one, or look at the way people think about when I say this about pile one. It's almost like a game. It's just, excuse me, one more drink of water. I do not like this energy at all. It's making me sick to my stomach. I'm so sorry you have people like this gossiping about you. Like, you don't deserve this at all, okay? Key to intimacy. What a powerful card to come out. It says intimate love is a core need to be met in relation to ourselves and those closest to us. The journey to intimacy often includes learning what love is not. And that's exactly what's going on with the situation. Like, you realize that these people, right, again, family energy here, you're realizing that they are what love is not. Like, this is not the type of connections that I want in my life anymore. That's why I said it really feels like you're coming to a close with this, like, and you might really resonate with the collective message that I did in the beginning, which will be timestamped down below. You can find that in the description box. But this is something where it's like you realize they're not healthy for you, and so you're hiding a lot from them, but you have very superficial conversations with them, but they're still gaining details in those superficial conversations to use as fuel to create false stories about you. And I feel like you know that. And so it's like, whatever you tell them, you're like, cool, go ahead and tell people whatever it is that you want, because I don't have anything to prove to you anymore. I've gone down that road. It's done. It's over with. It doesn't make any sense for me to try and prove anything to you, because it's not going anywhere. You either believe me or you don't. It's no skin off my back. And you having that nonchalant energy is really irritating them too. Yeah, Pisces, tune into your intuition. Yeah, you definitely are intuitively tapped in. You know what's going on. You are aware of what's been unfolding this entire time. And, I'm sorry that this is what's going on, but good for you for listening to your intuition, right? Good for you, pile one. Okay, on the bottom of the deck, yeah, Mermaid of Lumeria. I love that this came out for you. You are pouring into your joy. Why do I hear that song? I got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart to stay. Right? Like, yeah, you've got joy in your heart. Like, you look good, you feel good, you're focusing on your journey, you're focusing on what you need to accomplish. You've given yourself space to rest without feeling guilty. It's like, cool, if you guys want me to feel bad about it, guess what? I don't. Nah, 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 nah. Right? Like, you ever see animes when they pull their eye down and they stick their tongue out? Like, I feel like that's the type of energy you pass back to them. It's like, like, I don't care. Go for it. And I feel like that the more that you come from that energy, the more irritated they get. You're just like, whatever. You guys see life in an entirely different way than I do. And I feel like the thing is that if and when, right? I should just say when you succeed, because you are succeeding, especially with Saturn here. Do you feel like there's a reward that's coming soon, or you've already experienced, you know, direct feedback from your journey? Like, as you're succeeding, like, that's going to irritate them even more, because there's going to come a time when they're going to have to open their mouth and insert their foot clear up to their thigh. Like, it's just going to totally swallow their whole leg here. You know, it's such a weird statement that we have, but that's true. Like, they're just going to swallow their whole leg here, because they've basically set themselves up to be called out as liars by a lot of other people. Or when you finally meet the person of your life, like your soul partner on the journey, or your whoever you're meant to be with, and when you guys connect like that, like, they're going to be in complete shocked silence, because it's going to be somebody that they never thought that you could connect with. And I'm not talking about necessarily looks. I'm talking about like energy wise. Because here's the thing. The people closest to us, while they see our potential, they don't want to acknowledge our energy. But when it's somebody that's a stranger from the outside coming in, they see the brilliance of them. And that's exactly what's going to happen here when you meet your person. Like, they're going to see the brilliance of this person. And it's going to be like, oh, well, how could pile one attract someone like that? Hello, because that person is mirroring the same energy that you have. But again, they don't want to acknowledge that. They're like denying that here. Archangel Raziel. Inspiration, mysteries, and the Akashic record. Yeah, so not only are you clearing your Akashic records right now, this was something that was written, right? And I feel like it's just kind of something that you were meant to go through on this journey in this time. And it was for you to really connect with your intuition, to connect with your guidance system, and to connect with your creative abilities. And that's what you're doing. So something is, you know, what is that song? Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Treat yourself with arms wide open. I don't remember all the words, but anyways, today is player book begins. The rest is still unwritten. And that's what you're doing. You're writing yourself into existence. You've cleared your Akashic records from whatever the past was. And now you're like writing your future. You know, I watched Ninjago. It's like one of my favorite shows ever. And there's when in the 5th season, they go to the Cloud Kingdom, and in the Cloud Kingdom, they meet the people who write what they called the prophecies and everything like that. But they're literally writing the present moment. And that's what I keep seeing. It's like when they're writing the present moment, like Jay knocks into one of the scribes and knocks over the ink pot, and Dareth, if you know who Dareth is, he's a brown ninja. He's kind of like the comedic relief in the show. But Dareth, they showed Dareth driving in this ridiculous convertible hot rod, and he ends up running into the back of a cement truck, and the cement truck dumps all over him. And the guy that's writing, he's like, oh no, poor Dareth. And it's just funny because it's like unfolding as they're in the Cloud Kingdom. But that's what's happening. It's like you tapped into the portal to the Akashic records, and now you're becoming your own life scribe. And that's going to really get on these people's nerves. But because everything that they're talking about, it's like, people are going to start seeing that none of it's true. And I feel like they're going to be exposed. Yeah, judgment. Wow. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. So they're definitely judging you really hard. They're judging your journey. They're judging what you're experiencing. And they're thinking that they know better than you. And they're not seeing it that this is your path to travel. And just because they don't understand it doesn't make you better or worse than them. It's just a different path. And they don't want to see it that way. They want to see it as they're the only ones who know how to, you know, live life. We have the self-care, 789, practice self-care. Ensure you're getting enough rest and engaging in activities that bring joy into your life. So synchronistic here. So rest and joy, that's exactly what I feel like you're expressing out into the world. And so they're just doing everything to pick at the sore here, to pick at the trauma, to pick at the scar. Starting over 2110. 2110, okay. 210, you were presented with the opportunity for a fresh start and new beginnings. Release regrets and embrace the present moment with openness and optimism. So beginning again. Okay, so let's see what these are. Distorted desire. Conscious desire rarely satisfies the unconscious need driving it. Yeah, so they're definitely seeing this from a distorted place. Again, it's almost like if I can put pile one down, then I've won. That's what they're feeling. And so it's a very distorted desire that they have. What they don't realize is that all this weird energy that they're putting your way is actually helping you become more successful. I mean, it's not like to ask for it or anything like that, but it's putting you in the spotlight with people. And so people are naturally curious, like, is this really how pile one is? And so if you have some sort of online presence, whatever it is, they're investigating you and they're seeing that these aren't matching. Like nothing is lining up. So people are naturally curious, like, hey, what's going on with pile one? Because of all this gossip we're hearing about them. And they're realizing like, whoa, there's something that's very mismatched here. Face your shadow with Lilith here. Yeah. So this is a part of your shadow. This is a part of your healing. And overcoming to like re-empowering yourself here and re-empowering the divine feminine, the shadow aspect of ourselves. There's an integration that's happening in regards to this situation. Archangel Ragael, justice, discipline, and harmony. Don't fret, pile one. Justice is going to be dished out. And I feel like that's exposure. They're going to be exposed for who they are. Okay, yeah, humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. I feel like you're finding joy, happiness, you're laughing more. Like maybe you just recently had a good belly laugh and you're like, wow, that felt really good. I should do that more often. And so you're finding things to laugh about and finding things to connect with in that way. Mars, jump into action. It's absolutely what you've done. You've jumped into action and you've learned that it's not necessarily about more, that sometimes less is more, right? Krias. Reconnect with yourself. Yep, that's what you're doing. I love this. I love this. This is that self-care energy. There's that, with especially with Mars here, that's that healing, loving, soft energy that you're doing. And so I do feel like you're about to be rewarded on your journey in a huge way. And whoever this is that's been gossiping about you, like they're really going to be exposed for what they're saying and their lies. And I feel like they're going to be taken off their pedestal that they believe that they're on. So let's take a look at this card. And I'm going to read this from the book. Possibly. Yeah, intuition. Come on. Come on. You're following your intuition. You see the truth. Even if it makes me blind, I just want to see the light. I don't remember how that all goes, but that's what it's like. Even if it makes me blind, I just want to see the light. And that's what you're doing with this intuition card. Like you see them for what they are. You realize that they're saying things about you. You maybe have even called them out on it. Well, at least I'm not going around and spreading lies about you. And they're like, we're not doing that. How could you ever accuse us of doing that? Like, I would never lie to you. And you're like, that's funny because I catch you in lies all the time. And then they get so offended. And maybe that's just become exhausting too. Or maybe you've done it because it's just entertaining to you at some point, you know, like you find humor in it. You're like, oh, calling them out on a lie. That's going to be humorous to see how they react now. How are they going to defend themselves now? How are they going to lie themselves through this now? And so I do feel like though, whatever it is you're definitely listening to your intuition on this. It says you are wide awake and able to perceive a higher level of awareness that helps you recognize secrets and subconscious intentions. Yep, you were tapped in, homie. The intuitive beetle is using the third eye gate to see through the prism of distortion. And isn't that funny? We got distorted desires, and then this helps you see through those distorted desires. Wow, that's really powerful. The answers you are seeking will come from within, from your divine knowledge and your inner wisdom. Your intuition will help you read people's body language and facial expressions if they're in a disagreement with their words and actions. Yeah, exactly. Allow time and space to practice putting your newly found feelings into words, but know that your present situation will benefit significantly from your keen intuition. And it says, I am awake and I see. Bum, bum, bum. Why do I hear this song? You know when Mario goes underground and this song changes? Da-na-na-na-na-na. 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 Da-da-dun-dun-dun-dun. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Right? So like I feel like that's the thing. Like it's like underground. You're privy to information that's beneath the surface, right? So that's what I'm feeling with this as well. So yeah, and that's part of you facing your shadow is just opening up to that and right, intuition is connecting with our divine feminine energy in a very powerful way, with the moon energy that resides within us. And you're trusting that, and you're not letting other people's insecurities become your truths. You're standing very solid in your truth and in your knowing, and that in itself is going to be very revealing as things move on here. But I do feel like Source is also telling you that justice is going to be served. Karma is going to be served on these people as well, but they're trying to bring you to a more harmonious state where you're going to be rewarded for your efforts and what you've done. So continue forward on your journey, trust in the process, and know that things are going to work for you. And you're doing an amazing job, Pile 1. You've done a lot so far, and I hope that you honor that and celebrate that. Okay? So this is what I see for you here today. If you felt like this was your reading, leave the little intuition eye emoji down below and say, I listen to, trust, and believe my inner voice, knowing that it always has my back. And if it resonated with you, it'd mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find everything you need in the description box. I'd like to take a moment to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this very powerful reading today. And until next time, pile number 1, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice, the 4th house, or perhaps you felt called to this feather, or maybe you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be your reading on what's the gossip about you right now. So we're all here sharing this human experience. I do things differently here on this channel, so there might be triggering statements that do arise on the readings themselves. There's no obligation to force it to fit, while also keeping in mind that triggers can be a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journey. If the message resonates, it would mean the world to me if you're to like, comment, and subscribe below. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you're new here, thanks for joining us. Please know that your time, your energy, and your presence are a true gift and a blessing, and I'm deeply honored to be here sharing it with you today. So pile number 2, I was getting a channeled message for you, and it was the song Torn by Natalie Imbruglia that was coming in. It's like, there's nothing where he used to lie. My inspiration has run dry. That's what's going on. Nothing's right, I'm torn. I'm all out of faith. This is how I feel. I'm cold and I am shamed, bound and broken on the floor. Illusion never changed into something real. I'm wide awake and I can see the perfect sky is torn. I'm all out of faith. Yeah, something along those lines. Like that was coming in. Like I'm bound and broken on the floor. I'm ashamed. I'm cold and bound and broken on the floor. Like this feels, and this is talking about this song. This is talking about a man in her life that like treated her really bad, and he left. And she says, I don't know him anymore. But this is where I'm at. Like I'm cold, I'm ashamed, I'm lost, I don't know what to do. And so why this song was coming in, all right, so I just want to talk about this before we even get to the dice, is that the fact that, and you can check it out, it's Natalie Imbruglia, the song's name is Torn. But the fact that this came in, it was talking about this could be an ex that is gossiping about you. This is somebody who's saying that you were the problem, or that you were the one that broke their heart. You're the one that left them. You're the one that just up and disappeared and didn't give them any signs of it. But I feel like the truth is that this person was narcissistic or very manipulative, very cold, very unyielding when it came to you, and that they were very cruel towards you, and you had to make a choice, right? Like that's why I'm saying I'm cold and I am shamed. Like I feel like there's where you lost all feeling. You were numb to your existence. You were numb to who you were. You were numb to what was happening. And then the shame, right? The shame, the self-blame, the guilt, like, and I feel like there's a part of you that feels ashamed or guilty for leaving this person, or did at some point. And now looking back, you realize, I got the hiccups all of a sudden, realize that this is something that you had to do. to free yourself. This song, I had to go and listen to it. The reason I had to go and listen to it, I had to remember what the song was about. It's been years since I've heard that song, like years, probably close to a decade since I've heard that song. And it just came in so strong when I was getting ready for your reading. And so I knew that it was for you. And that is just wild to me. I was just shuffling all the cards from pile 1, getting ready to start your reading. And then this song just, boom, it came in like that. And I was like, okay, I got to listen to this. So let's find out a little bit more as to what's coming in. But if you didn't catch the intro, I talked about this in the intro. I kept feeling like I was actually going to do an entirely different reading today. And when I finally sat down to do this, is like Source said, no, this is the reading that has to be done today because there's somebody that somebody needs to know about. And so it could very well be you, but I do feel like all 3 piles have that as well. Like they just need a heads up on the people that are closest to them, because that's what this reading feels like. This is family or people you know, people that are close to you. And I mentioned that in the intro too. So what's the gossip about you right now, pile 2? Source, what would you like to share with us today? What's the gossip about you right now, pile 2? Yeah. Yep. Okay. 7th house. My nose is going wild right now. Okay. 7th house, Gemini and Mercury energy. Yeah. So this is someone who is a close personal, interpersonal relationship. Someone you got a divorce from, someone you broke up from, an intimate romantic relationship at some point in your life. Could be family, friends, business partners, co-workers. But with the 7th house coming out in regards to this, it does feel like this is somebody you were romantically involved with, and they're playing the victim right now. Gemini coming out, obviously pointing at gossip with Mercury here too. Definitely telling people you're shallow, you're unkind, you're unyielding, you're vicious, you're someone that tells lies about who they are, like you're trying to paint them as the bad guy. This is what they're gossiping about. I feel like the thing is they're not getting the feedback that they wanted. They really thought people were going to believe them, but I feel like the people that they're talking to are people who are also close to them, who know exactly the type of person that they are. And so now it's like they're waiting until they can connect with new people. And when they connect with new people, they try to tell anybody who will listen how you're the bad guy. Like they're the victim. You left them and you didn't let them know that you were leaving them. And I feel like many of you had to pack your bags and leave when they were gone, because it feels like if you didn't, that they would have called you back. Like there's something about the situation that you know, like you have to psych yourself up sometimes to leave, even if it is an abusive situation, even if it is a toxic situation. Like sometimes when you get ready to leave, you kind of have to psych yourself up for it. Like, okay, I know this is the best decision for me. I know I have to make this decision. And so maybe you waited until they went to work, you packed the car and you bunked out. Like, you know, I was like, said goodbye, and that was the last goodbye. And they didn't know that that was going to be the last goodbye, but you did, and that's what they're mad about. But that's the thing. It's like, I feel like you had to do things quietly. Like I'm hearing that, like a thief in the night, I'm coming for your heart, I'm coming for your heart. Just like the saying goes, I'm just a selfish ghost. That's what it says. I'm just a selfish ghost. And that's what they're saying. They're saying you're selfish and you ghosted them. And how could you do that? Like, oh my gosh, we spent so much time together. We had a marriage together. Like suddenly the divorce papers showed up with an attorney and I had to sign them. And oh my, how could they do that? But that's what they're telling people. They don't want to take accountability for how vicious and cruel they were to you. Like, I feel like you were the one that had to recover from that. I feel like you were the one that had to, you know, heal from the years that you spent with them. And it feels like years. This doesn't feel like a less than a year relationship. It could be. This feels like there's definitely some time that was spent with this connection. Like, I mean, I'm talking years. It feels like years, multiple years, maybe even decades. You know, it just feels like there's a lot of your time that was limited to being in this connection and feeling like you lost out on yourself. And that's exactly what they're telling everybody else. Like, oh, I lost my life because of this person. I thought they were my forever person. Like, I thought things were always going to be good with them. And they could be a Gemini. They could have Gemini highly aspect in their chart. You could have Gemini in the 7th house. You could have Mercury in the 7th house in Gemini. There's just a lot that they're telling people and saying like how well, if you only saw things the way that they did, if you only understood where they were coming from, then you wouldn't have been so vicious, but you never chose to understand them. You never chose to communicate with them. But I feel like the thing is that everything that they're telling people is actually how they were in the relationship. I feel like you did. You gave them plenty of opportunities for communication. You gave them opportunities to connect with you. You maybe even mentioned like therapy or something like that, and they were too stubborn to go. Like they just didn't want to. And so you ended up with a broken heart here. And I feel like you had to choose yourself in this situation because you were losing yourself in this situation. Like a part of you was losing your mind. You were just going crazy in this situation and had to leave because you had to make a better life for yourself. What's the gossip about you right now, pile 2? Yeah. They're really negative. This is a really negative person. What's the gossip about you right now? Okay, thank you. What's the gossip about you right now? Whoa, thank you. What's the gossip about you right now, pile 2? Okay. Wants to come out in the reverse. Yeah. What's the gossip about you right now, pile 2? Thank you. Yep. You left. You left. We were supposed to have a family together. So they're saying we were supposed to have a family together. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is like something that's coming in. Now, if you're a man and you were with a woman, okay, they're saying that you got them pregnant and you left. And they lost the baby, whether that was to a miscarriage or an abortion or whatever. Like they're saying they lost the baby. I just want to point out, I feel like that is a blatant lie. I feel like that's just something they're eliciting sympathy from because they want you to seem like the terrible person. Now, if you're the woman and you left a guy, okay, this is saying that, oh, well, they were pregnant with my child and they just took my child and they won't let me see my child now. But I know that they were pregnant with my child. That's why they left. And I feel like many of you weren't pregnant. Like, there could have been pregnancy here. Now, that could be the same for same-sex couples. Like, you know, maybe they're saying, well, we were trying in vitro or this, that, and the other. And then they just left. And now they're the ones that are with the baby. Like, they're using a baby here. Again, it doesn't matter what what your preference is or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, I just am trying to paint the picture here because that's what they're saying. They're just saying, like, oh, you know, like, you left when I had a child, or they had a child and they left and they won't let me be a part of its life. And so now they're raising this child by themselves and they won't even talk to me and they've totally disappeared. And I just want to be a good parent. I just want to be a part of my child's life. And I feel like for some of you, this may have been taking your children away from this person. And I feel like for others of you, there is no baby. Like, I feel like this is a phantom baby. Okay, like, I just feel like this is just to elicit some sympathy. But I also feel like for those of you that do have kids with this person, like, you have custody of the kids and they're still a deadbeat parent. Like, they're barely paying child support, if they're paying it all. Like, there's like a court, I feel like there's a court order here somewhere along the way. Yeah, and they're just definitely trying to paint it like you totally iced them out. Okay. So, wow. Okay, so this is an interesting energy. So what they're gossiping about is they're saying that you all of a sudden became very spiritual, and when you became very spiritual, like, you totally changed. Well, yeah, you would, because you stopped trying to be what everybody thought you should be and started becoming who you really are. And so naturally you're going to change. Like, you're changing for the better, but they didn't see it that way. So they're saying that being spiritual is negative. Like, I'll never get involved with another spiritual person again because that's just a hopeless endeavor. Like, they're always going to put me last. Like, they're going to put their spirituality first. They're going to put their connection first. They're saying, like, now you have a better life without them. Like, you took their good life. What's that song like? It's right there. It's right there. Anyways, it's talking about how, you know, like, it's when a heart breaks, so it don't break even. No, what am I supposed to do when I'm all choked up and you're okay? What am I supposed to say whatever. Anyways, it's like that song. It's like, yeah, I'm falling to pieces. I think that's the name of the song, Falling to Pieces. It's like talking about when a heart don't break even. And that's what they're saying. Like, oh, you found another person. You have another relationship. And the thing is I feel like all the things that they're talking about, and maybe that's true. Maybe you found your person and maybe you have a beautiful relationship. You have kids with them and everything like that. But I also feel like for many of you, there is no baby. There's no relationship. Like, you're just trying to heal from a really terrible situation. And they feel like, oh, it's hopeless. It's hopeless for me to start again. I can't start again. There's no way for me to start again without them because they were my person and they knew they were my person. And and that's the thing. Like, I feel like there's a lot of people here who are just tired of them complaining, because at this point it's gossip, but it's just sounding like complaining. It is, because they're just trying to paint this situation as like you're the bad person. And I feel like there's a lot of people here who are like, geez, if this is how much they complain after everything's all said and done, like, I probably would have left too. Like, there's a lot of people who are on your side, pile number 2. Like, a lot of people. But I feel like that's the thing. Like, this person really did a number on you. Energetically, spiritually, emotionally, maybe even physically. Like, there's a lot of stuff that you experienced with this. And the only way that you could feel sane again was choosing yourself. Like, you went through this period of having to rediscover yourself and rediscover what it meant to love yourself, because they feel like this person had convinced you that you weren't worthy of love and that no one would ever love you and that they're the only thing that you would ever be capable of getting. And so you better cherish them, because if they're gone, then you're going to be alone. Like, this is what this really feels like. I feel like this person really just, I don't like this. I don't like this energy. I just feel like they really put you down. I feel like they really put you down a lot, and I feel like they said some really cruel things to you. And at some point, maybe you did believe them, because it was a very hopeless situation. It was all consuming. That's what they're saying. It's all consuming. It's like, I'm seeing you in the center of just this black mass that's swirling around you, and just there's no light, there's no getaway. It's just, there's wind, you're basically suctioned to the floor, and the only way to leave was to leave on your terms. And they're using that as a means of spreading stuff about your name. And so it's like with the Torn song coming in, I feel like the Torn song is what explains you. What you know, like, you're the one that went through all this suffering, and you're the one that had to leave. And yet, even though you left, the healing process left you bound and broken. And they're trying to say that they're the ones that are bound and broken. Like, they'll never get over you. But here's the other weird energy that's coming in with this, is that I feel like they have had multiple relationships since you've gone, and I feel like you haven't. Like, I definitely feel like there's this very uneven situation here, where maybe you've had like one relationship, if any, maybe 2, but I feel like this person has had person after person after person. They may have cheated on you while you were with them. You know, there's a lot of things here that they're not showing people, but I do feel like people definitely have their eye on you because of this person. And it does feel like one person. It could be multiple people. Like, we do have the energy for multiple people here, but it really feels like one person. It really feels like one person to me. And I just feel like, yeah, it's just, you know, like, you've had to become very cautious about your approach to having sexual relations with certain people. You've had to be very cautious about the people you connect with. You've had to learn how to heal on your own and to listen to your intuition, your guidance. So a lot of healing here, a lot of healing. And I feel like this is also going back to childhood trauma here with the 3 of Cups. It's like you're learning how to heal a lot of childhood wounds. So you may resonate with the collective message that I did at the beginning, which, if you feel called to watching it, you'll find the timestamp in the description box below. And I'm going to start trying to pin the timestamps as well in the comment section. So I will try to do that as well. But, yeah, you're healing your inner child. And so you're looking younger, you're looking brighter, you're looking more refreshed. And they're taking that as like, oh, you've fallen in love. And I do think you've fallen in love. I think you've fallen in love with yourself. right? Nobody shines quite like when they've fallen in love, but that doesn't mean that we can't love ourselves in that way, right? And I feel like that's exactly what's happening here, is that you've fallen in love with yourself. Need to move the camera just a tad. Yeah, so it's like, that's what they're telling people. It's like, I'm the one that's all choked up and pile 2 is okay. And again, it's gossip. I don't think that's right. I don't even think they know how you're doing. They're just telling everybody that they're in the worst straits because of this. Conjunction, a union emerging, a coming together. Yeah, so this was some type of union. This was some type of relationship, some type of connection. It could be a friend. It does feel romantic, though. The 6 of Cups keeps showing itself in my mind's eye. It keeps showing itself. So this was like somebody you thought you were going to spend forever with. Like you could have been married to this person or thought you were going to get married to this person. Or you guys maybe were common law or something along those lines. Like you considered you guys to be a permanent fixture, and then it wasn't. Yeah, distorted perceptions. Reality is rarely what we were raised to believe it is. See, this is that energy I was feeling, like you standing in a black mass. This is what it felt like. Excuse me. So it was like surrounding you. And it doesn't, again, this is a woman here, but it doesn't matter. You could be a guy, you could be a girl, you could be non-binary, whatever you identify with. What I'm saying is this is what it felt like. There's just, it was keeping you in place. You had lost touch with reality. You'd lost touch with yourself, right? Reality is rarely what we are raised to believe it is, but also what we're believing it is because of situations that we're in. And so you had to make an opportunity for yourself to leave. And I just feel like that's what Source wants you to know, is like you did the right thing. But even doing the right thing, sometimes it feels very challenging and hard, right? And like, oh, am I doing something that actually matters? Like, is this really going to matter in the long run? Yeah, so we have air energy. Take a bird's eye view. So Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra energy coming through. Yeah, you had to choose your spiritual journey so you could see this from a higher perspective. But more than anything, so you could see yourself from a higher perspective. I feel like that's it. I know this isn't too much about what they're saying, but I just feel like Source doesn't want to focus on that right now. Like, Source just wants you to know, like, this person is just trying to paint themselves as the victim, and they're not. Like, you really were the victim in this situation. We have trine energy with things are magically aligning. So I do feel like things are working out for you. So if you haven't found your person yet, and that's something that you do want on your journey, like, that's going to happen for you. And it's not going to be something I feel like you put on blast. Why? You know, like maybe this was a connection that you had on blast, and it's like you realize, like, when things fell apart, like there's a lot of explaining to do. Angel, don't lick the bed. Thank you, baby. And when you had this explaining to do is like, just a second. Yeah, she's a little obsessive compulsive. And I know this has come up in other readings, but it's funny because usually she doesn't, like, usually she's just asleep over there while I'm reading. And so when it comes up, it's just showing, like, I feel like you had some obsessive compulsive disorders you had to get rid of. But this is also showing, like, when you find your person, or when you get together with the life that you want, or the life that you desire, like, it's not going to be put on blast. Like, that Thief in the Night song keep playing in my head right now. And so it's like showing that when you go to success, when you have success in your life, like, it's just going to happen overnight to everyone else, but it's not something that happened overnight. Like, you know, you've gone the distance, you've healed, you've overcome so much. Yeah, new moon, plant fresh seeds. Yeah, so you're going to be harvesting your new life. And they're just going to have to watch. Like, they're just going to have to watch you do it. I love this. We have Oshun coming out with sweet success. Yes. Thank you for that confirmation, Source. Thank you so much. Sweet success. Like, things are going to happen for you, and you're going to be, like, I just feel like you're going to be dripping in gold. And that's not just necessarily monetary. Like, I just feel like you're going to look good. You're going to feel good. You're going to be shining bright. You're going to be a leader in the community. And that's what Source wants you to focus on. Like, you overcame one of the hardest situations in your life when it came to this person that you were involved with. And now things are aligning for you. You're finally getting back to your energy. Yeah, I'll protect your energy with Dryad here. Yeah, so now you're coming into this very protected space. Okay, and being very clear about who has access and who does not have access to your energy. You're putting yourself first, and that's such a powerful thing, especially after having been with someone where you lost yourself. That's what Source is so proud of you and is trying to help you celebrate that as well. Okay. Yeah, education, you learned so much, and now you're teaching others. You're teaching others about balance, about harmony, about self-love, about resolution, solutions to difficult situations. You're sharing your wisdom and your knowledge that you received from this situation, and others are grateful because it's helping them let go of their own challenging situations or to find ways around where they felt like they didn't have any opportunities, right? But because you made your own opportunity, you're helping others see that there's always an option. Honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. Yeah, so you're just being radically honest with yourself right now. All right. On the bottom, we've got progress. Yes, 6, 7, 8. You're making progress and advancement towards your goals. Stay focused and committed to your journey, knowing that success is within reach. So you're about to be so rewarded on your journey. Good things are coming. And again, it's not necessarily monetary. I just feel like this is freedom of spirit. That's really what this feels like to me. It feels like freedom of spirit. I feel like these want to go first, so we'll do that. Yeah, abandonment, feelings of unworthiness and rejection. This is what you're healing from. This is what you're overcoming in regards to this situation, or, you know, they abandoned you emotionally, or they abandoned you mentally, or they abandoned you physically, you know, whatever it was. So you had to choose yourself in this situation. I do feel like you're the one that left, right? But I do feel like there was still the triggers of abandonment within this connection. And that's, you know, they're trying to paint it like you're the one that abandoned them. You just had to take back your power. Forgiveness. I do feel like you are learning to forgive this person, or you have forgiven them, and that's what you're teaching others, is about the power of forgiveness, right? You're teaching them what you've learned on this journey. And if you're not yet in a state of forgiveness, you have learned how to forgive yourself, and that's something powerful that you're passing on to others as well. Security. 6, 4, 6. Work hard, stay disciplined, unlock a happy, wealthy, and successful life. Your guardian angels are here to help you. Yeah, so you're unlocking security on your journey. North Node, you're destined to have this success. You're destined to have this security. You're destined to have good things. You're walking in your power and in your North Node right now. Intention. It says lacking personal direction begets confusion and life as a pawn to someone else's game of chess. And that's something that you've realized on this journey, is like not being empowered and not having self-empowerment let you be a pawn for others to move around in their chessboard. And you decided that, you know what, not only am I going to be the chessboard, the chess pieces, but I'm choosing to be the chess master. And you're stepping into that power right now. And you're no longer letting other people's their decisions, their actions, or how they're showing up. You're not letting that determine you. You're showing up from a very powerful place and a very secure place. And that's why you're going to be calling in so many good connections and opportunities and success coming in. If it's not happening yet, it is almost here. And I feel like that's what Source really wants you to focus on, pile 2. It wasn't about what people are saying about you, not even what this person was saying about you. They wanted to acknowledge that, yes, you were the one who is indeed broken from this situation. Not that we're ever truly broken, but that's the emotions that you went through, and that you were bound to this situation at some point in time with the distorted perceptions. You were bound to the situation, but you've since freed yourself from that. And I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you for choosing yourself, because I know that took a lot of courage, and I know that was so hard to do. And that's something that you should absolutely celebrate yourself. You know, take yourself out to dinner, get that special glass of wine that you've wanted, that special drink. If you don't drink, then go get that steak dinner, or whatever it is that is your equivalent of a steak dinner, right? If it's a vegetarian or a vegan dish, go get your favorite one, you know. You deserve to do that for yourself, and you deserve to do it now and celebrate. You know what? Heck yeah, I did that. I took myself out of a really bad situation. And not only did I take myself out of a really bad situation, I healed myself from that situation. And I love myself now, and I get to be who I am. And gosh, that's just so powerful. I'm so proud of you, Pile 2. So, so, so proud of you. We're going to take a look at your card. I'm going to read this from the book. We're going to see what it says. Magical power. Yeah. You're tapping into your magic. This is your divine magic. Magic is within all of us, right? And you're finding that again. You've let go of all of those heavy, heavy, heavy feelings that were weighing you down. And now you're emerging into your own magical power, and you're getting to experience it firsthand. And that's such a beautiful place to be at. So let's see what magical power says from the book. It's interesting because I just opened the book and it got to karmic justice. And so I feel like that's what they're saying here. Like, this situation is going to go under karmic justice. Like, there's definitely going to be karmic retribution for how this person treated you. And you're probably not going to see that unfold, but Source does want you to know that it's not going unnoticed, right? Like, this person is going to reap what they sow. And so just, you know, I'm not saying that like, oh, well, they deserve that or anything like that. That's not what Source wants us to do. Like, it's just to tell you that no matter what they say about you, it doesn't ultimately matter, because either this person's going to be exposed, but that's not really what I'm getting here. I feel like this person's going to be put through a similar situation that they put you through. So like everything that they're saying that you did to them, they're basically manifesting it into their lives because they didn't have that. You were a good one and you got away because they didn't appreciate you. And they, instead of acknowledging that and saying like, wow, I really messed up, right? Like, what's that song? Oh God, I'm sorry. I hated myself. It's like, how does he say it? He's like, I was too blind because I hated myself and I hurt you. Oh, that song. Yeah. He's saying like, oh God, I'm sorry. I put you through hell. You tried to love me. That's what he says. Oh God, I'm sorry. I put you through hell. You tried to love me when I hated myself. It's too late for apologies, and I know that you've cried, and I know that this is goodbye. It's something along those lines. I don't know who sings that song, but it's just like when he sings it, it's so, like, you know that he messed up somebody's life, like, you know it, and he's like regretting it. But like, that's the thing. Like, I feel like that's exactly the type of retribution this person's gonna get. Like, they're gonna have to go through that realization. Like, oh my God, like I put pile number 2 through hell because I hated myself, and all they tried to do was love me. And I'm never going to get love like that again in my life. And that's something that they're going to have to face along the way. It says, we are born with a special magic gift, our gift of magic. We often overlook this extraordinary power to bring happiness to those around us and our own hearts. In the center of it all is a very powerful emotion, love. By setting up our intent, we can create a new world. Believing in ourselves begins with loving and being kind to who we are, understanding our limits and pushing just a little further to better ourselves. In these ways, we become closer to fulfilling our life purpose in life. The dragonfly starts their life as larvae in water and later rise up into the air and fly. They are our connection with nature and our guides to the realm of magic. And your affirmation here is, the magic is me. Yeah. So I feel like that's the thing. Like, you're an embodiment of love. You've always been an embodiment of love. I mean, it doesn't mean that you didn't have your traumas or that you didn't have your moments or that you weren't human, but you are at your core a natural embodiment of unconditional love, which is normally how you're going to show up and treat people, from a place of love. And they took advantage of that, and they took you for granted, and they're still taking you for granted, and they're still not seeing it for what it was. Like, they had a really good person in their life, and so they're trying to play the victim because they want to be seen as the one who got hurt, because that gives them some sense of satisfaction, or it makes them feel like they're being put on a pedestal, or whatever it is, right? They want the sympathy. They want the empathy from people. And something's going to shift in their life where Source is going to put them through something similar to what you went through, and they're going to realize, like, oh my gosh, this was a true gift in my life. And there, that's it. That's a forever thing. They forever lost you. They're probably not even going to meet you in another life. Like it's just where you basically had to heal from this energy, the energy that they were in. And that's it. It's like the ties have been cut and there's now a whole new karmic destination for both of you. And that's what's going on. And so whether they experience that in this life or the next life, there's, you know, it's going to be different for everybody. But that's the thing. I feel like that's what Source wants you to know, is like, that's their retribution for treating someone who's an embodiment of unconditional love in that way. And I do feel like you are somebody that's bringing forgiveness to the world. So you might be an angel or a guide that has manifested in the violet white light. So it's the violet white light of forgiveness. And that's one of your missions, is to bring forgiveness to the world after having experienced something that was traumatizing and overwhelming and just absolutely unfair. It was unfair. But I feel like regardless of that situation, you appreciate how far you've come and the strength that you've embodied now. And that's such a powerful place to be. And I just hope you know that you are absolutely worth celebrating, pile 2. So thank you so much for being you and for being here on this reading with me and letting me connect with you in this way. I'm truly honored to have you here. But this is what I see here for you today. If you feel like this is your reading, leave the mended heart down below, the heart with the little wrap around it, and say, because I healed my own life, and I've chosen to forgive myself, I now shine in the glory of my own inner light. And if it resonated with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find everything you need in the description box. So with that, I would like to take a moment to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this incredibly powerful message. And until next time, pile number 2, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with the 6th house on it, or maybe you felt called to this beautiful white feather, or perhaps you felt called to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be a reading on what's the gossip about you right now. We're all here sharing this human experience together. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. If you're new here, thanks so much for joining us. I do things differently here on this channel, so there might be triggering statements that do arise on the readings themselves. There's no obligation to force it to fit, while keeping in mind that triggers can be a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journey. If the messages happen to resonate with you, it'd mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And please know that your time, your energy, and your presence are a true gift and a blessing, and I'm deeply honored to be here sharing it with you today. So with that being said, let's hop to it and find out, what's the gossip about you right now, pile 3? What's the gossip about you right now, pile 3? Source, what would you like to share with us for pile 3 today? So, you still got the 6th house. All right, so we've got the 6th house, we've got Capricorn energy, and we've got the sun. Here comes the sun. Da-na-na-na. Here comes the sun. And the sun. People are saying you're working really hard on your physical body, or like your health. Like you've been working out for a long time, or you've been eating really healthy for a long time, or you are just really disciplined with your routine. Like you have, oh, the sun is so weird right now. If you have a very particular routine that you follow, like I think you guys can see. Okay, let me shut this just a little bit, just a tad bit here. Ugh, okay, it's behind me, so it's just an awkward angle. Yeah, that you're very disciplined at working out, or even like work. Like they're saying that you're very disciplined at showing up for your work. So there's a lot of good energy that's coming in with this pile, or with this dice reading here. And I just feel like also they're saying like you're facing your obstacles, like you're facing fears, you're facing things that have been challenging for you, and you're a living, breathing example of what it means to chase after your dreams. And so we actually might have a good pile in this reading. We never know. I leave it open to source to bring through what's, you know, what they want. But I do feel like people are recognizing the hard work that you're putting into your daily routines, the foundation that you're building, the workouts that you're doing, like with your body, taking care of your health and your well-being. That could also be your spiritual health, your mental health, your emotional health, but that you're definitely like an embodiment of the things that you say. Like what you say matches what you're doing. And, you know, like you'd be like, well, is that really gossip? Yeah, anytime we're being talked about, whether it's good or bad, it's probably gossip. It's probably gossip. There's probably something, hey, did you hear what pile 3 is up to? Like they're doing really good at taking care of their health, or they're doing this and they're doing that, you know. Yeah, it's gossip. And good gossip does happen from time to time. It does happen. Bad gossip is what travels faster than good gossip. I will say that. But let's see what comes through. Yeah, definitely you are an embodiment of vitality. You got a lot of energy. You look really good right now. You look like you have everything in place for your life. What's the gossip about pile number 3 right now? You love yourself. You know your worth. All right. What's the gossip about pile number 3? Okay, it wants to come out this way. What's the gossip about pile number 3? What's the gossip about you? Okay, they want this one here. Yep. What's the gossip about you, pile number 3? Yeah. What's the gossip about you, pile number 3? You're working hard. You've clearly stated what you want. Whoa, okay, so you're getting an extra card here. Didn't want to do this many, but let me see if I can get them all to fit. Okay, bottom of the deck, we have the 4 of Wands. Yeah, you're letting go. Now, it's interesting because I'm used to reading it in this position as the upright. And so I'm just going to read it as this position in the upright because that's in my original deck, that's what it looks like. But in this deck, it is the reversal. But they're saying like, okay, so as the reversal, that you're overcoming some kind of romantic frustration, like you're moving on from a broken heart. That's what I'm getting from that. But also with this being in that, you're shoring up old patterns. You're shoring up old things that aren't serving you. You're really letting go of a lot here. You're letting go of things that hurt, things that weren't serving you. Yeah, you're inspired. You're creating. Wow. A lot of positive energy here. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. So I see what they mean now. I understand it. Yeah. You're healing from a broken heart. And this is what's turning your fortune for you. It's like you're letting go of something that was very, very weighty, and that people are impressed. Like people watched you suffer through something, and maybe they didn't watch you suffer through something, but they heard about what you went through in a commitment, in some type of commitment. This could be with a friend. This could be with a family member. This could be with an ex. But you were inspired to move on from this person, or to move on from this situation, and to take care of yourself. And we see here with these 2 at the center of your reading, this energy is very powerful because it's showing how you're very clearly talking about what you work on, what you do for entertainment, what you do for yourself. Like you're very clear about who you are. You're not afraid to mention, like if you're somebody that is doing some type of spiritual business, you're not afraid to mention that. If you're opening up your own business, like you're not afraid to mention that now. Like maybe when you first started, like you were really scared to say this about yourself. Like if you were a Reiki specialist, maybe you were kind of scared. You're like, oh, well, you know, I'm kind of dabbling in this and I'm trying to do this thing now. And now you're like, no, I'm a Reiki specialist. I help with energy healing, or Maybe you are maybe you're a yoga teacher and you were always just like, oh, well, I really enjoy yoga. And now you're like, no, I love yoga. Like, it's a part of my life and I'm a yoga teacher. And maybe you're a meditation guide, and there's like, that's what it feels like. It doesn't have to be these things, right? It could be construction work. Like, maybe you changed from being a doctor to being a construction worker and open up your own construction company, and everybody's like, yeah, but you're a doctor. And you're like, yeah, but I've always wanted to be an engineer, and now I'm having that opportunity to kind of put that part of my mind to work. And now you're like, no, I own this business so that I can engineer and create new buildings. And like, you're very sure of yourself. Like, that's the thing that people are talking about. Like, you do not hide, where there was a period of time where you hid from who you were, you hid from the inspirations you received, you hid from the journey that you were taking. And so what people are saying, what the gossip is about you right now, is how it feels like Lady Luck has turned in your favor. You are not the same person you once were. You're a completely different person. You've come so far and you've learned how to integrate so much as what has happened on your journey. But especially those of you that went through some sort of betrayal or some sort of broken heart or some sort of, I heard failed marriage, but it's not seeing it as a failed marriage as much as it is like seeing it as a separation or a part of your life. But there's something here that switched, that changed, that there's an ending. There was a massive ending to. And that ending, most people thought they thought that it was going to be the end of you. And instead, it was the beginning of who you are now. And there was a lot of, like, it was something, yeah, divorce is coming through. It was a very oppressive situation. Like, maybe this was a friend who's very oppressive, very controlling. A job or work situation is very oppressive, very controlling. A divorce, a partner who's very obsessive, very controlling, who expected you to adhere to certain conventions and certain norms that just don't suit you anymore. And so people, they're mentioning this other party, this other situation. They're like, wow, I never thought pile 3 was going to be able to overcome that. But they were inspired to leave. And now they've grown so much and they're very confident in speaking about themselves, like sharing who you've become and sharing who you are now, right? You're on the rise. You have closed out something and now you're adapting to this new routine of life, and you're also accepting life's ups and downs. So you know that sometimes you're on top and sometimes you're down, and the way that you're showing up is very balanced and very secure and at peace, and you're very relaxed, and you're also showing people that you can do the impossible. And so people are talking about that, like they never gave up on their dream and now they're literally the living embodiment of their dream. And I feel like even if your dream, whatever it was, made you nervous at some point, like nervous to talk to other people about it, nervous of judgment, nervous of how people would take you, like now it's just become such a part of who you are. You're just like, no, this is what I do and I enjoy what I do, and I'm not going to degrade myself because other people don't want to accept it or don't want to see it. And because of that shift in your energy, now people are like excited that this is what you do. So like if you're a tarot card reader, or if you are a spiritual guide, or if you're a life coach, or if you're maybe you are a fitness coach, or maybe you work with animals, or maybe you are trying to build your own shelter of some sorts, or maybe you're trying to be of service to people, like you were trying to build your own foundation or something like that. Like there's at some point where you were afraid of the judgment, so it's really hard for you to talk about what you do. And now you're just like, no, like this is it. And people think that that's really admirable. And that's what people are talking about. Like, whoa, that's so admirable that pile number 3 is just so secure with how far they've come and what they've been able to persevere through, and the self-improvement that they have experienced along the journey. You are a true inspiration to so many, and you have taken practical steps to this slow and patient advancement that you have, and it's been rewarding in and of itself. I feel like that slow process is what has made such a massive change in your character and in who you are, and people are noticing that. So this could be people who follow you, but this could also be people who maybe were cheering you on from the sidelines, and that's what they're talking about with each other. Like, oh, wow, pile 3. Like, I'm so excited that they're making, you know, strides in their life. Like, we always wanted to see them get somewhere, and we wanted to see them become something because they're such a good person and they deserve that, right? So yeah, you've definitely got creative momentum right now. A lot of drive, a lot of vitality, a lot of energy. And you are being seen as somebody who's growing. Almost in this effortlessness. Like, you are growing effortlessly. Like, every time people connect with you, you're a vastly different person. You have tapped into an even deeper well within yourself. And you also have your energy going to different places, but it's not at the cost of yourself. And this is what people are gossiping about. Like, how do they do it? How do they manage all these different things? How are they able to do all of these different things? And it's interesting because I feel like, yeah, tapping into your intuition, like being able to recreate some sort of mystery in your life, or create mystery in general. Like, a lot of mystery is coming in. You're very intuitive. People feel like you're very intuitive. You know exactly what to do. So maybe you are just using your intuition in regards to your business. It doesn't mean that you have an intuitive business, but it could be that whatever you do for work, your intuition plays an integral role in that. But also, I feel like what they're saying here, why this card comes out this way, is they're saying not only are you letting go, but that you having gone through really rough connection in your life actually helped you become a better version of yourself. And so people see that from the outside looking in. They're just so proud of you for having overcome this betrayal, this hurt, this broken heart that you went through. You could have resonated with one of the other piles, specifically would be pile 2. There was a really hard pile. So for those of you that came from pile 2, like, this is kind of the after, like what happened after. And if not, there's no obligation to watch multiple piles, but I do want to mention that if you've stuck it out for all 3 piles with me, leave a purple heart down below. You guys are a part of my Purple Heart Club, or you can say I made it. And I know what that means. I just really do appreciate any amount of time that anybody spends with me. It really does mean so much to me. But yeah, there's a lot of good luck coming into your life. And the main thing here is that you are not afraid to be vulnerable with people anymore. Like, there was a situation or time where maybe you didn't show your emotions. You didn't show how you were truly feeling. And now there's this energy where you are truly opening up and being vulnerable with people in a very profound way. And people feel closer to you. They feel like you are somebody that they can relate to. They feel like you are somebody that they can trust. They feel like you are somebody that they can rely on as well. You're very consistent energy. You always show up. Even if you falter, you still show up. And you do it in an imperfect and beautiful way. It's very gracious and it's very inviting. And so it's like, I feel like sometimes maybe you beat yourself up for those times that you imperfectly show up, or maybe even you're not able to show up and you have to make, you have to alter your plans, or you have to pivot your journey a little bit. But honestly, those moments, like, don't beat yourself up for those moments, because those moments are what make you appear human to everybody that's watching you. And it's not for means of putting you down or anything. It's just realizing that if pile 3 can do this, then they're creating a blueprint for me to follow as well, which means that I can do it too. So you are very inspiring to a lot of people that are talking about you, that are gossiping about you right now. So these are people who just really appreciate what you brought into their life. If you have some sort of online presence, like a website or some sort of shop that you're selling at, or some sort of like one of the social media outlets here, then they're sharing your site, they're sharing your channel, they're sharing your page with people, and they are talking you up. Like, oh my gosh, you got to connect with pile number 3. And I feel like you have been word of mouth. Like, people have followed you because of word of mouth, and you've got maybe even clients because of word of mouth. And that's something that these people just, they love you. Like, they're true followers. They're just devotees. That's what I'm hearing. There's like devotees here, and they're devoted. Hopelessly devoted to you. Okay. So yeah, they're just, they love it. They love that you're there, and they feel like you have brought something into their life that they felt like they were missing, that they felt like they now need, and that they can rely on too. They can rely on you always showing up and being there, and they look forward to it. some kind of service. There's some kind of service you get. So like, even if you're a contractor here, it's like people appreciate you because of the honesty that you bring, because of the realness. Like, you're a very real person, a very grounded person. Like, if you're a lawyer, the same thing. You're very honest, a real lawyer. Like, you're trying to do it from a very integral part of yourself. Like, you want to show up with integrity. You want to show up with honesty. If you're a doctor, the same thing. Like, you want to break it down so that they can understand what's going on in a very honest way, but also not in a way that's so disconnected. Like, there's a lot of empathy. There's a lot of vulnerability here. There's a lot of connecting with the emotions that people truly appreciate that you're bringing. It's a very profound energy, and that's what they're talking about all the time. It's like so the example would be like, if you're a doctor and you have to give some sort of diagnosis to someone or prognosis to someone, it's like, instead of just saying, well, this is what you have, and then walking away, you're like, hey, why don't we go and sit down? Let's get something warm to drink and we can talk this over. And I want you to know, if you have any questions, let me know. And so, you drop the news, and then they're like, they might be freaking out, but you're like someone who gets up and like maybe touches their shoulder and says, hey, it's okay. Whatever you're feeling is okay. Like, I'm here for you and I can answer any questions you have. And like, you've been painted as the doctor who cares. Like, this is just the example they're showing me, right? And if it's the same thing with a lawyer, like maybe you're a divorce lawyer or something like that, and you deal with a lot of broken families, and like people come to you when they're sharing their story, like they break down and cry and they break down in tears, and you're telling them like, hey, it's okay. Like, it's okay for you to feel this way. You're not the only person that feels this way. There's a lot of people who feel like this, but just know, like, we're here to help you. We're here to get the best possible outcome that we can. And I'm going to walk you through this. Like, you're not cold and heartless about it. Like, you're very much connected. And I feel like that in this day and age, that's something that's so rare, and especially in industries like that. And even if it's not an industry like that, like even if it's just something where you don't really need to care about the people, you still show that care. You still show that kindness. You still show that empathy to people. And it's something they remember for a very long time, which is why they keep coming back to you. Okay, so we have Aries energy here, independence, bravery, and passion. Yeah, you're very passionate about what it is that you're going towards, what it is that you're doing. And I feel like that's what people are mentioning, like how passionate you were about this at some point. And so many people didn't believe you when you got started, but these are people who are cheering you on, maybe from the get-go, but maybe not. Maybe people who've been impacted by you, and they're just like absolutely in awe at how far you've come. The moon. Yeah, you are so connected to your emotions. Satisfy emotional needs, nurturing self and others. Like, you bring such an empathy to the table that people are just like, I feel heard, I feel understood, I feel seen, I feel valued, I feel worthy, I feel like you're just somebody who I can connect with in such a beautiful way. And you really do. You just have this very calm and nurturing energy about you. And it's a very welcoming energy as well. Okay. On the bottom, we have assistance with access. It is necessary to ask for and accept help in order to receive it. Yeah, you are led by the heart. Like, you found the key to your success. And that's not necessarily monetary, but the key to fulfillment for you is living from your heart. And not only living from your heart, but being true to yourself from your heart space. So whatever that entails, like to love and to be loved, to accept things as they are, and to accept yourself in entirety, to be a whole, complete being, and able to express compassion and kindness without reserve. And knowing that that's not costing yourself, that's how we connect through humanity. And you don't cost your own energy, right? Like, that's not what you're doing, but you've just found that this is something that resonates deeply with you. And that's something that people are very, very grateful for. Whatever it is that you do for work, or whatever it is, I mean, it really feels like whatever you do for work, especially because we have the 8 of coins here with Capricorn energy. So it is what you're putting a lot of effort into. This could be a side hustle that you have, but it does feel like something that you're working on, something that you're offering to people. We have the 8th house that flipped over here, except that it's complicated. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I feel like what it is like, it can be so easy to detach because what you do is heavy. Like, there's a lot of heavy energy. There's a lot of times when you're dealing with a lot of heavy situations, and it's so easy to detach. But you've come into this place of accepting that it's complicated, and that has given you even greater access to empathy and kindness. It's like you accepted the shadow. You know the shadow's difficult, but rather than run from it, you like, you welcomed it with arms wide open, right? Vesta, fuel your inner fire. Yeah, this is something you're absolutely passionate about, whatever this is. And I feel like that's what people mention, how passionate you are about this. Like if only everybody was as passionate about this as you were, then life would be completely different. Like we would be experiencing a whole another realm of life. Yeah, Imhotep, visionary. You just see it different. You're visionary in your field. You're visionary in what you do. You're visionary in life. And people respect you. They come to you and they see the vitality on you, but they see the leadership. That's what's good. They see the leadership from you. And they want to follow you. Like, I'll follow you to the ends of the earth. What else, source, for pile number 3? Oh my gosh, yes. I love this. Archangel Phanuel. We have optimism and hope. They're talking about that too. This is what they're gossiping about, is how much hope and optimism you bring into their lives. And just in general, like you must be helping people that they've never even met before. And that gives them hope. And that fills them with happiness and optimism, because there's like a lot of people here just, isn't it funny how a smile can impact somebody's day in such a profound way? And that's exactly what it is. But it's not just your smile. It's your energy. It's your aura. It's how you choose to say things. It's how you choose to deliver what you're saying. And it's like, even if it's incredibly challenging information that you have to deliver, like you do it in such a way that people are comforted by you. And that's what they're talking about. They're like, you know what, pile 3, they had to give me the worst news of my life. But yet somehow I feel like it was the first time in my life I got good news. People are like, how does that work? And they're like, it's just the way that they brought it to me. They were just so real and honest about it. They let me cry. They let me be who I was. They saw me. They didn't try to force me out just because it was uncomfortable. They sat with me like a best friend in that discomfort. And I just feel like for the first time in my life, I got good news, even if this was the worst news I've ever gotten. Like, that's just how they see you. It's just this is an incredible energy. It's incredible. Yeah, service. Oh my gosh. Bringing value. You help people. That's what you do. It's like who you are. And people recognize it. And I feel like the people you've helped are the people who are saying these amazing things about you. They cannot say enough about you. Like, they tell everybody, oh my gosh, pile 3. Like, that's why it's the gossip, right? It's a very beautiful thing. Very beautiful. Yes, freedom. Freedom. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. Like, they're talking about how free you are doing what you love to do. How you are truly, truly just this person who's brought a sense of peace and freedom to them as well. You've helped them find happiness in some cases. Empathy. I'm open to seeing both sides of the situation. They're gossiping about how empathic you are, how kind and generous you are. And it's not about the money. It's not about monetary. You are kind and generous of spirit. And that is such a rarity in life. Enthusiasm. Yeah, you have a lot of life and vitality. 343. Approach life with an optimistic attitude, even in the face of challenges. Be excited about the opportunities that lie ahead and embrace them with open arms. Did I say that? You bring them in with open arms. Did I not just say that like 2 minutes ago? Oh my gosh. What? Okay, maybe it was a little longer than 2 minutes ago, but it was just a few minutes ago. Wow. What a confirmation. What a confirmation. Progression. 1, 2, 3. You're experiencing forward momentum. Our movement and the sequential unfolding of events. Trust the natural flow of life and take steps towards your goals with confidence. Yeah. So you're also in the process of making progress right now. Like, things are happening for you. Things are shifting for you. And I feel like everybody's noticing that too. From the outside looking in, they're seeing how much life is shifting for you. And there's a lot of people here that are really excited for you. Distorted perceptions. Reality is rarely what we are raised to believe it is. This is the thing. This came out in another pile. It's interesting, but the energy that's coming with this card right now is completely different because it feels like you're helping people accept something that at one point they were rejecting. And that's why distorted perceptions, like you're helping to ease them into this, accept that it's complicated energy, right? You're helping ease them into something that was shackling them to a way of life and freeing them from that and helping them to accept it with grace and with ease in a lot of cases. Saturn, time for tough love. Yeah, there's something about what you deliver that's very challenging, but you do it in such a loving way that like people are ready and willing to take it. They're just like, I'm ready. I'm ready to hear what pile 3 has to tell me. I'm ready to be here with pile 3 because I know they're going to help me in the way that I need it too. Right. And I don't feel like you're dry. I don't feel like like you could even be dry. You could even have a monotonous tone or anything like that. It's not about your voice. It's not about your body. It's not about how you look. It's about your delivery. Your delivery is everything. And I feel like the way you look at it is whatever I do, whatever service you offer, you do it the way that you would want someone to do it for you. And seeing it from that place and that type of energy gives you such a leg up. And people can't stop talking about you. Yeah, Rhiannon, inner strength. This is the other thing too. They're gossiping about how you've helped them find their own internal strength. Again, with the idea of freedom here with the horse. Embracing our emotions and being okay with that, right? Being accepting of that. That's where our inner strength comes from. So you do feel like there's something that you deliver that is sometimes very challenging, but you do it in such a profound way. And if you've been looking for that confirmation, like that's why Source did this on this reading. It was just like that confirmation that yes, you are being seen, you are being heard. Like people do appreciate you. You're bringing optimism and hope. You're helping people accept something that otherwise they would have been plagued by their entire lives, energetically, emotionally, mentally, whatever it is. And even physically here. And you're helping to release that. Okay, so let's take a look at your card. I'm going to read this from the book. We're going to see what it says. Pile 3. Union. This is like the shadow and the light. What a powerful energy here. This could be, maybe you're a dating coach or like a relationship therapist or like a family therapist or something like that with this union card, something along those lines. It doesn't have to be, but those are energies coming in as well. Let's see. Union. Okay, it says this card. I'm going to put it right here. Is it still in there? Okay. Yeah. It says this card represents unity, wholeness, and fulfillment. Harmony can arise from forces that can be seen as opposite, yet they are interconnected. They can work to complement each other. This card can represent friendship, teamwork, or partnership. It's not essential to master every talent, skill, or knowledge because our unity with like-minded people can bring the best in results. This card teaches us to trust others in their area of expertise. Yeah, that's what they're gossiping about, is like you have an expertise at whatever it is that you're doing. The heavy weight of responsibility can be divided, and the celebration of success is much sweeter when it's shared. So that's the thing. It's like you're helping to burden, right, some of those weights from others. So they're not doing it alone. Whatever it is. So it's like if you're an energy healer, right? Like you're the channel. You're taking a lot of heavy energy off of them and you're channeling it into something positive. And so they're not doing it alone. And again, that's just the example here. So it's like whatever you're doing, you're literally reaching out your hand and saying, I got you. Let's do this together. I just got so emotional. And I feel like the way you're, like, the reason you're like that, Pile 3, is because that's all you ever wanted in your life was someone to do that for you. Just reach out a hand and say, hey, I got you. Let's do this together. And you do that for so many people. And I hope that you know that it is so needed and it is so appreciated. And it's absolutely beautiful what you give to others. Wow, that hit me so hard. Thank you for being you. Oh my gosh, my dog is crawling in my lap. Shit does this when I cry. Thank you so much for being you. Thank you so much. I know, baby. Thank you. So it says, oh, hold on, baby. Get down. There you go. Don't knock over my table. Thank you. It says your affirmation is we're stronger together. Oh, okay. Let me take a drink. Very center. And I think that's exactly just like, that's exactly who you are. Like you just believe it's like, if I could just remind them that they're never alone, like then I have this fulfillment because I know that I'm never alone. And I know that I didn't have to be alone through all those times that I went through. And so I'm going to be that person that just helps them shoulder these very difficult, challenging things in their life. And I just hope you know that you're so appreciated, Pile 3. You're so, so, so appreciated. And I'm just deeply honored that I get to connect with you in this way. So thank you so much. What a beautiful, beautiful reading. So this is what I see for you here today. If you feel like this is your reading, leave the strong arm emoji down below and say stronger together. When we have somebody who's willing to walk through fire with us, we can accomplish anything. And I've been through the fire and back my entire life and will continue to do so. And if it resonated with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, you will find everything you need in the description box. With that, I would like to say thank you to your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this incredible message. I want to thank you for being the beautiful soul that you are, and please celebrate who you are. And with that, until next time, pile number 3, stay human. Bye.